That there may be a low-level effect there that's increasing the rate effect on clinical grounds.
Dr. Bloom and other experts stress that so far they have no evidence ultrasound radiation causes harm in human fetuses. But they say we should avoid routine ultrasound examination because we're beginning to see danger, warning signs that in the past predicted medical disaster. One early warning sign is sound. Next, harm to laboratory animals. This too is showing up. Another clue is evidence in humans that something may be wrong. Now, a new government study, not yet released, does indicate that the unborn exposed to ultrasound weigh less at birth. That's a significant signal, experts say, that ultrasound may interfere with normal development. The one thing scientists do not suggest they're finding is blatant deformities of the type caused by potent drugs like thalidomide.
We do not detect after ultrasound, so whatever we're doing something extremely subtle, if anything at all.
Mm-hmm. What you're saying is that you detect no overt kinds of malformations the way we think of them, or a missing foot or
missing organs.
The main researcher who has triggered new concern about ultrasound is Dr. Doreen Liebeskind, a radiologist at Albert Einstein College of Medicine. She exposes animal and human cells to ultrasound waves. She finds abnormal changes in the way the cells look and behave. She won't say the cells are genetically damaged, but she does say the changes look the same as damage caused to cells by 9 rads of ionizing radiation or X-rays. That's the equivalent of about 250 chest X-rays. Ultrasound, growing apart from each other in neat rows. Here's how they look after ultrasound. A tangled mass growing wildly all over each other. Here are other normal cells in motion, with smooth edges moving in a clear direction. After ultrasound, 100% of them become frenetic and distorted.
Things are happening. They're happening to the DNA of these cells. They're happening to the behavior. They're beginning to grow in a funny way. They're beginning to behave in an aberrant fashion. And in some cases, they're becoming tumor cells. There are some long-lived effects on the DNA of the cells, on the behavior of the cells, and on the cell growth that persists for many, many generations after a single exposure.
In fact, as I recall, in your papers, you were showing that you had effects after 10 generations.
Yes, and even longer than that.
Dr. Bloom says it looks as if ultrasound causes genetic mutations.
If a chemical were doing that, we would call that a mutagen.
Government officials are well aware of and also concerned about Dr. Liebeskind's findings. Food and Drug Administration officials candidly admit they cannot say diagnostic ultrasound during pregnancy is safe.
No, I don't think FDA can say. I don't think anybody can say that ultrasound is absolutely safe.
In fact, the FDA for several years has been worried about the effects of ultrasound and done much research on it. In these tanks, they expose pregnant mice to low levels of ultrasound. They find that the offspring of mice who get ultrasound weigh less when born. More important, CNN has learned the FDA has just finished a new study on pregnant women monitored by ultrasound.
We've been looking at a population of children, about 2,000 children, who have been irradiated, about half of whom have been irradiated in the Denver, Colorado area. And the indication there is that those children that have been irradiated have a reduced birth weight.
Low birth weight may not sound